continuing on the hot seat here, we've talked about two coaches that their seat is glowing red. I'm going to talk about a coach whose seat is on fire. Brent Pry. That dude needs to find a fire extinguisher right now because he is burning up.
Yeah.
That loss to Vandy just, I don't, listen, I don't care if Brent Pry, okay, if he won out, maybe. But we know he's not going to. And that loss to Vanderbilt is just debilitating for Brent Pry and Virginia Tech. And to be honest, it wasn't even, it was close in terms of like first half. Dude, that second half, that Virginia Tech team was just downright gassed and pitiful and exhausted. And the Vanderbilt Commodores ran right through that team. Just in Lane Stadium, at home, embarrassing, to say the least. I understand Vandy has a good team. I want to get that out there. Vandy has a good team. This is Brent Pry's, fourth or fifth year? This is a prove-it year. He's 0-2. He started off the year with a loss to South Carolina. He started off week 2, or he goes into week 2, do or die, loses to Vanderbilt. Brent Pry's future is, in my opinion, done. I don't think there's anything he could do. Even if he does get them to a bowl game, whatever. 6-6, 7-5, that's not going to cut it every single year. Virginia Tech wants more. They're not Alabama. They're not Penn State. They're not Ohio State. But they expect more than a 6-6 season every single year.
Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, to get completely shut out in the second half after you went into halftime leading 20-10 is just a really bad look. Also, I saw another crazy thing. I want to say that Brent Pry has 1 win or 0 wins after leading going into the fourth quarter. So going into the fourth quarter, he was only down 3. I mean, there was a good chance there that he could do something, but then you come out and you're down 3, and then you give up 21 even more unanswered points. I mean, that's just bad. I can't believe that this is really what Virginia Tech football has come to. It's kind of sad to see, but yeah, Brent Pry, I mean, I don't know what his longevity is here, but I can't imagine it extends beyond this year, if he were to make it. There's no way I could see them offering an extension or anything to keep him there.
Yeah, and I want to pull up their schedule real quick. For some reason I can't. Do you have their schedule pulled up?
Yep. It looks like here they go. They are home against Old Dominion.
Okay.
And then they're home against Ford. Then they go to NC State. Then they're home against Wake Forest, at Georgia Tech, home against Cal, home against Louisville, at Florida State, home against Miami, and then at Virginia.
Okay. I don't know how many games that football team wins. Given from what I've seen on Saturday night, I don't know how many of those games that team wins, and that's just being truthful. Like, that's not an overly hard schedule at all. No. You have 3 teams on that schedule that I think have the potential. Listen, I'll say 2 teams on that schedule that stand out, and then I will say that the rest of those teams I think have the right to give you a rough time. But you stack that schedule against a team like Georgia or Ohio State or Oregon or Penn State, etc. They mopped that schedule, with the exception of South Carolina, Miami, and Florida State. Those are the 3 that stand out. Vanderbilt, I understand, good team. You could throw Vanderbilt in there. Vanderbilt, South Carolina, Florida State, Miami. But this Virginia Tech team, you lost the 2 big ones already. If you go, and even if you win against Old Dominion, you win against Wofford, you somehow squeak a win out in NC State, you somehow squeak a win out in Wake Forest. down the stretch, I just don't know if you're going to go to Georgia Tech and play against Haynes King. You're home against
Yeah.
Cal. Honestly, I would give Virginia Tech the edge there because California decided to join a conference that was just like Oregon, that's on the complete other side of the country, which I just want
Yeah.
to add, I think is the dumbest thing ever, but whatever. Money talks.
Completely agree.
Um, Louisville, I think Louisville has a good team. They struggled a lot this last week, found a way to win in the end. Florida State
Yeah, they
loss,
pulled.
Miami loss, Virginia loss, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't see any way. Bottom of the barrel, I see at least 5 losses for Brent Pry, counting his 2 already. I see a loss probably against NC State, probably against Florida State, probably against Miami. I don't know. Just the more I look at the schedule, the more I sit here and think, how many of these games can this team win with a second half performance like they had against Vanderbilt? I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I will say, like we talked about, like I've said before, Vanderbilt, they played, I thought, pretty well. Diego had 2 touchdowns and a pick. He was 12 for 18, 193 yards, which isn't any crazy numbers. So to me, like, he played well, but Virginia Tech really underperformed at the end of the day. And I think that's what it came down to. And that's just the kind of I can't believe it. And then another thing too, this game's spread was 2.5. And then,
Yeah,
you come out and get beat by 24
and it's
at
not.
home.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
the biggest problem for me with this game at Virginia Tech is you gave up that many points in the second half. We're talking you're giving up 34 points in the second half, and you scored 0. They outscored you 34-0 in the second half.
Yeah.
You can't do that to win football games. If and the you were leading, they were winning 20-10 at half, and they
Yeah.
came out and got outscored 34-0 in the second half. That's gotta come down to coaching. It has to. I mean, I
Yeah.
understand that Vanderbilt might have a little more talent, but if you're Virginia Tech and your quarterback is the person with the most rushing yards on their team, that's a problem alone. So unless you got
Correct.
Lamar Jackson or you know somebody of that nature, that is part of their DNA and that's part of the offensive scheme, but I don't. I just yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and I know we talked about it before, and we didn't really assign anything before we started this podcast, but I give Virginia Tech, they're my losers of the week. They are my F for grades.
Yeah. No.
They are definitely.
I think my loser of the week above everybody is Oklahoma State. Dude, I don't know how you lose
Yeah,
by
I mean, that
66
was
points.
pitiful.